Austin Chase will be feeling a bit cold, doesn't it? Like he hasn't batted for a while. A little fuller than a pulling length, so more of a swing, upward swing through the leg side more than a pull. But the pull is a shot that's been prolific for him. It's also a shot he's lost his wicket to a couple of occasions so far, especially against the quicker bowlers. Against South Africa last game, against England, Jamie Overton. So it is a strength, but it can be a weakness.
It's taking off pace there, Hardik Pandya. I think that's a good ploy on a surface like this. Got Bumrah doing it. And this is Austin Chase against pace. He likes the ball coming onto the bat. Tall man, don't mind hitting on the up. Two is the call. They settle for the single. So 10 of the over. After 10, in fact, one more ball to go. Taken 10 of the overs so far. What do you reckon? Happy with the score at the halfway stage, Carlos?
It's a little disappointed with Shea Hope not finding his feet as quickly as you'd want. You'd think that the man under pressure would be Austin Chase. He came with the blocks, played a few shots. Shea Hope at less than a run a ball in the power play. It was a little disappointing, but key to that was them not losing the wicket in the power play and setting a really good foundation. So I think I like 10 to 15 more runs, but happy nonetheless.
He'll have to bowl that again.
Hopefully there's no dew. You know, feel like with 7 o'clock games, most conditions, you almost need to score 10, 15 runs for that dew factor. But if there is no dew, it should be even Stevens. I mean, now, instead of trying to get to 190, 195, that 182, that's about par, should be now.
It hurts Hardik Pandya saying at the toss, it gets cooler and the pitch settles down in the second half. That's why he wanted to field first, as did, for that matter, Hope. Another wide. All roads were leading to the Eden Gardens today. Buzz around the city from last night itself. Always well supported. Always mentioned is the people of Calcutta that make this a special ground. They come in numbers, and their passion is there for everyone to see. That 40-45,000 people, even in a game between Scotland. So now, after 10, it's 82 for 1.
Varun Chakravarti into his second over. Wasn't as good as he would like. And against the South Africans, came back a little bit more against Zimbabwe, but they'll be looking to make an impression on a ground that he knows very well. Hello to DK and to Samuel Badger. And now, if that's gone all the way, which I think it has, he has to lead all on his own for the most sixes in a single edition of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
He's the key here, Shimron Hetmyer. He's been an absolute spin destroyer through this World Cup. The spinners have struggled to bowl to him. And Varun needs to be very wary of the fact that he is extremely strong on the leg side. So try and avoid the leg spin as much and focus a lot more on the googlies. That's when you get the top edge. There we go. That was much, much better. He needs to have the courage to land the googly in the right length and almost tempt Hetmyer into playing that big shot. If you just see how he's gone about in this World Cup, have a look at most of his sixes, all on the leg side, in and around the mid-wicket, cow corner, and at times over deep square leg as well. That's how powerful he's been. Not so much over the offside. If I'm right, just 2 sixes. Another boundary here. We spoke about his strength on the leg side, but this one short and wide, cut away. The pressure on Varun Chakravarti here. He's erring on the shorter side, worried about the ball getting hit down the ground. He's got to pull up his length a little bit more.
Yeah, pressure. The psychological bandwidth of every player would be tested tonight with everything on the line. West Indies have set a wonderful platform. Maybe, as Carlos Brathwaite just mentioned, a few runs shy of perhaps where they wanted to be at the 10-over mark. But what an opportunity for acceleration now.
Minimum 100 runs, best strike rate. Fakar Shimron Hetmyer in 3rd place. So he weighted it well enough for 2. Very well run, very well weighted. 99 for 1, 11 gone. We know that the gaze of the cricketing world is right upon the Eden Gardens tonight, like those big lighting towers shining down on the protagonists. It is a win and you're into the semi-final for the respective teams. With the platform set and the depth of the West Indies batting, India need a breakthrough. And when you've got your guys below Chase, who's opening for the first time, and Shea Hope, so much power to come, you're thankful to them for the platform they've set. And now we begin another chapter in earnest with Jasprit Bumrah at DK. How does he construct this over?
He's brought in with the sole purpose of getting Shimron Hetmyer here. If you've observed closely in this World Cup, he's been terrific against spin. He strikes at over 200, 205 to be precise, whereas just 147 and at an average of 19, whereas against the spinners the average is 144. So the main line of attack should be into his body. He should bowl over the wicket, on and around middle and leg stump. If the pitch had a lot more pace in it, I think the hard length would have been a great ball with mid-wicket in, but this pitch is slightly slow, so he needs to go for that proper bouncer on and around the helmet and then back it up with a slow one. He needs to try and get Shimron Hetmeyer's wicket here. It's so key for India.
Good running again. And I think we talk so much and focus so much on six hitting and boundaries, we forget that in between the boundary balls over sixes, there needs to be some running taking place.
Yeah, and he's done that wonderfully well this tournament, Shimron Hetmyer. Leaner, fitter, stronger, faster. And he's punctuated the boundary hitting, as you so rightly mentioned, with those ones and twos. Now they've been measured in the first 10. The second 10, they've got to be ruthless. Try to get upwards of 200. Crucial and pivotal moment in the match now.
Finger goes up, and the matchup works. He reviews it straight away, Shimron Hetmyer.
And a player review for caught behind, bowler's feet checked, fair delivery. I'm looking at split screen now. Can you roll that through, please? Okay. I'm going to need to see ultra edge when available, please. Just waiting on ultra edge. Ultra edge coming through now. Keep it rolling through, please. Keep it rolling through. Take it right back, please. Right back there. We have a clear spike with the ball on the bat. Clear spike. Going to go back to Chris on field to stay with his original decision of out. So on-screen signal now.
That's a huge moment in this game. India has got an important wicket. Eden Gardens is ecstatic. Bumrah strikes again. The most important wicket probably in this phase of play. The short ball on middle and leg doing the trick. Hard length, to be fair. A bit of surprise in Hetmeyer's face and the coach's face, but the fact is that he's got to go. Bumrah strikes in a virtual quarter-final against the most important batter who could take on the spinners. Hetmyer goes for 27. West Indies 102 for 2.
It's such an important wicket for India. And that man again, Jasprit Bumrah, providing exactly what India needed at exactly the right time. How often has he done that? A change in pace faster and caught Shimron Hetmyer by surprise. Wicket straight up.
Averaging over 80 so far in this World Cup. Sherfane Rutherford was good, averaging over 40 in the previous edition in the Caribbean in 2024. He's been in very good form. They haven't spoken a lot about him, but he found very good touch in Africa, in South Africa, in the last couple of months. We're hoping that tonight he can stave off Jasprit Bumrah, difference maker.
He's had probably his best 3 to 4 months of his life as a batter. He's played in various situations and been successful almost every time he's walked out to bat. Recently in Ranji Trophy, Aqib Narbi took Jammu Kashmir to victory single-handedly. Sherfane Rutherford single-handedly took Pretoria Capitals to the final in that tournament.
Off the mark straight away, quite deliberate from Darren Sammy and the West Indies to keep that right-left combination out in the middle. Yeah, change up much faster than the previous 2 deliveries. Rush Shimron Hetmyer, a little bit of bat, maybe a little bit of inner thigh, outside portion as well. But there is that spike, bottom edge, and success for Bumrah. What a phenomenal player he has been.
Easily taken. 2 in the over for Jasprit Bumrah. He is a difference maker wherever he plays.
He dropped an absolute sitter off his bowling in the power play. But Bumrah didn't flinch. He's come back in the second over and got the wicket. Yet again, he strikes for the second time in same over. Roshan Chase not picking that slow one. Good catch by Surya Kumar. It covers yet again. India on the march now. They wanted wickets. They've got 2 in this over. And who is the wrecker in chief? Guess what? Yet again, it's Jasprit Bumrah. And he is pumped up. And so is Eden Gardens.
One or 3 for 3.
Former West Indies captain Rovman Powell coming in. He's come in a little bit earlier in the previous games, both times within the power play. Stage entry point today. Jasprit Bumrah now has equal Arshdeep Singh for the most wickets in T20 World Cups for India. Absolutely outstanding over. 103 for 3.
Another change-up, slower delivery, catching the batter by surprise. A sharp catch from Sky. And this is a game-changing over. A couple of wickets in it to set Roshan Chase and the dangerous Shimron Hetmyer. Exactly what he was brought on for.
These are the big changes as a captain. Surya Kumar Yadav must have been thinking, who does he go to? Shall he stick to Varun to go for that wicket again off a Rutherford, which will be very critical. But he's gone to Akshar Patel, and has he got the wicket? No! Spilled over, Tilak Verma, deep mid-wicket. Parrying one into the boundary. Another catch dropped, you'd have to say.
Now we've seen catches like these being taken in the deep. He was always running towards the boundary, not all the way back on the boundary ropes. So he was on the move and it slips through the fingers all the way for 6.
Wondering now, the awareness of the 2 batters at the crease with the excellent Jasprit Bumrah over where 2 wickets were taken. A third could have gone down in the last over and a half. Wasn't to be. How do they construct this middle passage with depth in batting?
Very interesting, Bish. If you observe Surya carefully, he's been slightly cautious than aggressive. For example, when Hetmyer came in early, he didn't bring Bumrah on. He brought Hardik on for that over, even though the matchup stated that. And now after a double wicket over, you could have thought Varun Chakravarti with a slip in, try and challenge them, but he's gone to Akshar to finish his quota because both the batters are new at the crease. In all fairness to him, he did create an opportunity. Tilak Verma should have been taking that. Last in judge it at the end.
Yeah, they've dropped quite a few catches in this tournament, India. Oh!
Sometimes he dominates it, sometimes he doesn't. People with wrist spinners always bring it on when he comes in. But it's a fascinating contest. It is ongoing. 1-1-3 for 3. India right down the bottom of the Super 8 teams as far as catching is concerned, so there'll be some work to do. Varun Chakravarti, though, is back on. No slip. They'll have a discussion. Sky will have a discussion. No better man than Sanju Samson behind the stumps. Yeah, they go for it.
We have a player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. It's a fair delivery, bowler's feet checked. Looking at split screen now, if you can roll that right through, please. It looks like there's a clear gap between bat and ball. Let's just confirm with Ultredge, please, to make sure. Roll Ultredge, please. Keep it rolling through. Keep it rolling right through. Thank you. Clear gap between bat and ball. No bat involved. Go to ball tracking when ready, please. Ball tracking coming now. Pitching outside off, impacting line. Wickets umpire's call. Chris, stay with your original decision of not out. Stand by. You're on screen, signal now.
Chris Gaffney reluctantly having to make his signal. This is a key battle. Chakravarti, Ruckman Powell.
He has to be looking for that one that comes back in. Practicing a little bit earlier on. Hasn't had the best of times in the Super 8. And so just wants to get his confidence levels back up. It's a feel thing, isn't it? Got the wicket quite early on of Shea Hope.
See what Rutherford is trying to do here. Doesn't want to do anything silly against Chakravarti. Surya in this situation realizing he can attack because he's brought a fielder from the offside in the inner ring as mid-wicket now. So he's going to tell Ruckman Powell it's not going to be that easy to take the single down the ground. Couple more deliveries to go. I wish Surya keeps a slip here. Just attack a little bit, even if it's for 1 or 2 deliveries. Let's create that doubt. Sherfin doesn't play the reverse sweep, so you don't need to be that worried about that shot.
Has to be convinced about it. Is it Surya himself or is the reluctance of the ball?
I think you got to give the option to the bowler. As long as he's comfortable, it's good to go.
You can understand a little bit of caution here now from a West Indian standpoint, having lost those couple wickets a couple overs ago. And so these two just trying to find the rhythm of the bowlers and the surface. They know how dangerous they can be in the last few overs. Just take your minds a couple games ago against South Africa.
Just one this time, but an economical over. 6 off it, 119 for 3, 6 overs to go. Time for all of us and all of them to take a breath. Drinks. Centurions in this format, very, very important. Go back to 2010 and Suresh Raina's 100 against the West Indies. One to remember.
Now this is going to be a quarter way to get to 100, Suresh Raina.
100 T20 World Cups by India.
Look at that smashing strike rate from me there. A rollicking 16. Set it up, set the platform. Then told Raina, go express yourself.
It's not like they get to take credit for anything. I remember it well. Great to have you guys here. Archery World Cup winner. Consolidation period. How did we see it?
Yeah, they'd be disappointed at the back end of that period when those wickets fell. Platform was laid in the first 10 and they were expecting that the second 10 overs they'd be ruthless, but that man just put Bumrah with a double wicket strike. What an over that was. Opportunity created here, but Grast, the catching efficiency has been quite low. Umpire's call, so important to get that on-field call. Would have stayed out if it was given out. Instead, not out, it remained. Now we've come to the final 6 overs, 7 wickets in hand, lots of power, but also lots of skill from the Indian bowlers. Sets up quite nicely.
West Indies will be hoping to get somewhere closer to 191. That's what they hope. But India, of course, have a couple of overs from Ashdeep remaining. A couple from Jasprit Bumrah. And the nation's eyes and a full house gazing down upon this contest. Three deep fielders leg side, deep point or cover point and a long off. No one deep behind the bat either side. Strikes first ball, things falling apart for the West Indies in these middle overs. But great now from Hardik Pandya.
Backing his off-cutter yet again. Sherfin Rutherford trying to be very cute there. A little bit of extra bounce. Sanju Samson gleefully accepts it. Now that is again such an important wicket in the context of the form that Sherfin Rutherford is in. And we know what he can do at the back end of an innings. But it's not to be. West Indies losing quite a few wickets through the middle. Sherfin Rutherford the last to go, 14. West Indies 119 for 4.
Jason Holder comes to the crease, 49 in the previous game against South Africa. He's been in good touch with the bat. For him, there is a fine leg, there is a deep square and a long on and a deep third.
Knowing Hardik Pandya, bouncer could very much be around the corner here.
Terrific length. Test match length.
Yeah, first ball of the over, he got the wicket. And he's using the conditions quite nicely, Hardik Pandya. Seam up delivery and just nibbles at it, Jason Holder, who's coming to this contest full of form, full of confidence. And so it's another important part of the game. We keep saying that. That's just the nature of this contest. so evenly matched. But just look at that view. What a spectacle.
Just after drinks break, first ball, Sheffield Rutherford trying to get that gap between keeper and shot third on the pitch, which has bounced the most in this World Cup so far. Getting that fine little edge, he would be so disappointed. Such a key part of what West Indies do at the back end of an innings. Hardik Pandya gets another important wicket.
So I'll repeat what I've been saying all along. This is my view. I speak for no one else. Wicket taking important. I'll come back to it.
Few balls ago, there was a bit of doubt. Jason Holder's first ball, Surya was talking to the keeper and the point fielder, asking, did he probably nick it? They ended up not going for the DRS, and makes sense. But this is going to pull back so much. India is going to pull West Indies back from being 190 to probably 170 just through this wicket-taking phase in these last 3 overs, picking up 3.
I think my big thing is that we keep talking about, and rightly so, there's depth in batting in the top 5-6 teams in the world. Great depth, great power across. You look at England, West Indies, New Zealand, and therefore I believe that the bowling group, the best bowling group, whoever that is, will be the decisive factor in this World Cup, because the batting and the sixth thing is a given. Depth in batting, a given. So who bowls best? Who can get key overs and wicket taking in the first phase, second phase, third phase? We'll look back perhaps in a week and be able to determine that. Nonchalantly done. There is that six-hitting power and that boundary hitting. 1, 2, 5 for 4.
Yeah, he has long levers and he has power. The tall titan that is Jason Holder, straight over his head. What a direction to aim at. Wonderful strike.
So India pulling things back with a few wickets. See there, always the case when wickets fall. Once again, a wicket falling straight away after the break. Arshdeep Singh being brought back. Four dot balls for Jason Holder, and then now what a shot to play to get off the mark. 4 dots and then 1 pitched up. Lovely flow of the blade.
Yeah, and I think worth noting there as well, Ravi Shastri, is just there was an on-pace delivery. Been a lot of success here this evening. In fact, there's been 14 balls that have been slower deliveries in this match so far. They've gone for 11 runs, Sonny, and they've taken 2 wickets. So clearly the strategy here in the final 5 in this acceleration phase is to get into that wicket, which is a little sluggish.
And even that drop catch of Shai Hope, that was a slower delivery, would have been 3 wickets.
But I think in that over, there were 5 deliveries of pace by Hardik Pandya. He got a wicket with a pace delivery. Then again, next 4 dot balls. So there were 5 dot balls in the over. And then I think Jason Holder read this is the wicket of the skipper. Then this is the catch, and then this one again, the slow delivery. Superb catch by the Indian captain. And then looking to nudge the ball through the slips. Waken slips and gets a wicket. 4 down.
He's not timed it, but will land safely. You can see that's the thing with the West Indies. There'll be a few dots, but then the big shots will be attempted. So as a bowler, as a fielding side, it always gives you a chance. Got to be aware, especially in the outfield where you're standing. Got to be right on the boundary.
That one catch of Tilak Varma, he was probably, what, 5 or 6 yards in off the boundary. The thing about the West Indies, Sonny, is that they are just supreme athletes. When it comes to just pure athletic ability, they dominate the world stage. So once that actually gets into a mind of a power athlete, they just pound the ball. You saw how easy big Jason Holder just put that ball down the ground. Superb athletes.
Oh, that was quick. It's bounced. It's bounced over the keeper. Wide signal.
And they'll have to just really watch themselves here, because I mentioned supreme athletic ability, but India have got that intellectual property that'll get them through these final few overs. Their last 30 balls has gone for 41, and they've taken 3 wickets, Rav. That means that they are all over this match. Can't afford to let West Indies get into this contest at all here.
Yes, and not by bowling such kind of deliveries. I think he was looking to get the ball up near the shoulders, but a little too quick.
Oh, that's huge! That's the biggest of the match so far. Don't bother looking, it's way back into the crowd. My word, that sound would have been heard in Howrah Bridge.
It's almost like the batter saying, hello, you bowled me a bouncer, you made me duck, now let me show you what I can do. You pitch it up and oh my God, that is massive. This is, look at that, the angle as well. Left hand round the wicket, angling the ball into that arc, and it's gone the distance.
Watches it disappear into that night sky. It's a brute force view.
The other thing is, I don't think it's 200. I think a pass score is going to be a little lesser than that. Thinking in that sort of 180 zone's a very good total on this wicket.
Could catch this from the captain.
Yeah, great athletic ability. Look at that. Times his jump. Slower ball. Completely deceived Roston Chase, who was batting nicely on 40 at the time, off 25 deliveries, and that's superb match awareness from the captain.
It's also landing the way that he did on the back of the palm. A lot of times he'll land with the ball touching the turf.
Oh, what a shot that is. My word. This is magnificent cricket. Just a flick of the wrist, and it's disappeared over square leg. 2 fabulous shots in this over.
Once again, a pace delivery, 134 kilometers per hour on the pads, and he just flicks it away. 6 wide 6.
That wide, that's the one that we were concerned about immediately up here. It was almost just like that little pressure release here. The West Indies were getting strangled. Now there's this momentum.
Oh, that's deft touch. This is quality batting. It's not preempted or premeditated. 24 of the over. It's 149 for 4.
Once again, a pace delivery. We're talking about taking pace off, but Arshdeep is not doing that, giving room outside the off stump, so that's gone for a boundary as well. 24 runs from the over. This is a game-changing 16th over. Could well be a game-changing 16th over. Look at that. The most runs in the innings so far.
24 runs coming in that last over. Suddenly, West Indies are propelled to 149 for 4. You mentioned Ados kind of track, somewhere around 180, 190. Be a good score. And don't forget, it's a knockout. It's a quarter-final. So that adds to the pressure in many ways. Oh, lucky there. That could have so easily gone back onto the stumps.
Yeah. I tell you, that was a real blip. They've been brilliant in the last 5 overs, India, but 24, and this is a shot of note too. Is look how closely he's watching that ball. He's not only got the power, but his eyes go straight onto his bat. It's a wonderful display of hitting.
You can see he's in the mood now. He's hit more sixes than any other West Indian in T20 cricket. Nicholas Purran had 149. Nevin Lewis 136, 156s now for Robman Powell.
Yes, he likes the taste, he likes the feeling. He's going to look for more.
That's high. It's long. It lands once again over the fence. He's dealing in sixes at the moment.
Put yourself into that ball and imagine yourself being crushed off the bat of Jason Holder. It's gone high as what it's gone far into the night sky, but such is the power.
And the reach that he has. And he's got that away square. Oh, good stop by Rinku Singh. No, Ishan Kishan, I beg your pardon. They're really moving along now. This partnership so quickly, 40 of 17. How quickly things can change in T20 cricket.
Oh, yeah. And look, that's why we got asked, you know, in the build-up to this match, which was massive, where you were thinking your heart was lying, and it was such a difficult and tricky question to answer because the West Indies are capable of exactly this, Ravi. They can come out and just crush deliveries, normal good deliveries for 4 or 6.
That's hit straight back. He's not bothering to run. Stand and deliver. Tall man, he likes to go down the ground. We know what another tall man did here in a World Cup final in 2016.
So once again, it's the ball in the slot, and he's bowling at 101 kilometers per hour. That's the pace that you want when you're looking to go over the top. And there's one man waiting in the wings as well, Romeo Shepherd. Not a very good prospect if you're a bowler.
Shepherd hold it the other day. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Gets away with it. He thought Holder had moved. 14 of the over, 163 for 4.
Very close call. Tough call, actually, I think, for the West Indies. He's saying, yeah, son, you moved. Sorry, but you moved.
So going the last 2 overs, you can see the jump in the run rate. So big over this, as it always is with Bumrah back in the attack. Still has 2 overs to go, and that can be crucial in these circumstances. It's flicked away. Yes, no, in the end. Settle for the single, the right call. Would have been an awful mix-up there.
It's Hardik Pandya very, very quick. And despite the fact that the ball had gone towards the practice pitches, He moves very quickly. Does Hardik Pandya has a good arm as well, throwing arm.
Now you mentioned change of pace. He's the one man who's done that on a regular basis. He's kept the batsman guessing, Bumrah. A change of pace. That's in the air, in the gap as well. One bounce over the rope. Using his height to good advantage there. He's a tall man, 6 foot 7 inches tall.
Almost he was waiting for that, and then he plays that almost like a tennis overhead smash.
Wasn't happy, wanted to get that wider. We talked about Jasprit Bumrah and his subtle variations. See how he takes pace of the ball, 117, 118, 136, 133. Then the slower one, foxing Roston Chase. Getting all his experience and skill into play. Just the single. It's a good over in the circumstances.
Yeah, it can be a match-defining bowler, Jasprit Bumrah. You saw by that over just his bag of tricks there. Firstly, put a big set of bunny ears on Shimron Hetmyer. 6th time he's got him out. He just finds a way to penetrate. And his off-pace delivery there on a bloke that's set on 40, that just shows you how good that off-pace delivery is as well.
So the reason it was surprising that he wasn't brought on straight away when Hetmyer came in.
Any over under 10 in these circumstances, you would say, is a good over at this stage. 8 of the first 5 balls.
Absolutely right. Well, as 2 overs goes, we're looking at 10. He's going at 180. That big over off Ashdeep went for 24. That was a huge little injection that the West Indies required. They can somehow manage to not bleed another wicket here. Could be big in the next couple of overs for them.
Oh, that's gone through. Arun Chakravarti coming a little late down on it. It's a boundary to end the over. 12 off it, 175 for 4.
Very handy little finish here. They'll take 12 every day of the week off world-class. Jasprit Bumrah gets on the leg stump, but this little piece of fielding here is disappointing for everyone. Come on, that needs to be much better.
And he shrugs it off. Deep inside, he won't be a happy man. Jasprit Bumrah is a proud performer. He would know that was an ordinary effort. 12 balls to go now. Where this team would be calculating it. It's 12 balls. If we can get 4 sixes, we're close to 190, and then get some runs off the other ball, get past 200 in a pressure match. There's Ashdeep. And he's hit it down the ground. And settled just for the single. The minute he thought it might be going into the fence.
Boundaries from this partnership. Jason Holder and Rodman Power, they've been going everywhere. Onside flicks, That was a wonderful demonstration of staying on the ball, and then the power. Goodness me. Just muscled down the ground. .57 off 26. What a wonderful little rearguard partnership this is. Can they go big?
Edged. They had to reach out for it. It was out of the reach of Sanju Samson as well.
Yes, this is the slower one he's bowled. And well, that would have been a fabulous catch if it had been taken. But this is what he needs to do. He needs to take a little bit of pace off. When he's bowling at mid 130s, he's just the ideal pace for batters that can hit the sixes. 10 deliveries left now.
And that angle was good too. Try and take it away from his hitting arc. That should be taken. Now put down. Again, it's Abhishek Sharma. He was slow to react.
Well, the young man's having a night of it tonight in the field. Dropped one early. Look at the face of Holder. He can't believe it. Rodman Powell is providing some gifts for this combination. Whether they'll be able to capitalise on it or not, it's going to be now the key for the West Indies. No control, makes good movement to the ball, and then shells it.
No signal.
Has to be wide that. What sort of call is that? Has to be some action there.
He gave it wide because he just moved a little across. It's good from Ashdeep. He's holding his nerve in this over. He's sticking to a line, keeping it away from the two right-handers. Coming up, it'll be a very good run chase. India have the batting power as well. West Indies have some spin to test India with.
Huge final two balls here. Team India, they need to get that sort of 190, less than that.
I won't mind that. It's kept the ball away from the boundary in this over, which is which you would take at any stage. Just 5 runs conceded. Can he finish this over off? 1 ball left. Be an excellent over.
Certainly has been. The previous over being taken for 24. This is a very good comeback by Arshdeep. Bowled it wide around the off stump, angled it away. And although he's bowled at that pace where the batters like, because of the angle that he's used, this has turned out to be so far a good over. Can he finish well?
Excellent, excellent from Ashdeep Singh. And even the crowd knows it. A big hand, just 6 runs off that over. It's 181 for 4.
That's a very special over, that. He clobbered the over before for 24, and then to come back, pressure cooker situation against 2 powerful hitters that are in, and just concede the 6 runs is special.
See some real stars to watch out for in that second half of the game. Final over, Jasprit Bumrah. Oh, that's swung and swung long. Good start to the over for the West Indies. The big tall man getting one in his arc.
Tried to bowl the slower delivery, but it wasn't exactly the slowest. About 124 kilometers per hour in the slot as well. And
Previous over was brilliant because it took everything and every option out of the West Indies' hand by getting outside the arc. As soon as you get inside the arc with these powerful hitters, it's trouble, even the slower one. At this stage, they're only thinking boundaries. They're thinking maximums.
That's good bowling. It's one of his strengths, the Yorker, which could be handy with two players like this who like to hit down the ground, get under the ball, get some elevation.
so in the previous over, he had bowled a lot of deliveries this length. And that's what he wants to do. Yes, the last ball of the previous over was angled at the pads. Same length, went for a boundary, but this is the length, almost under the bat. That is what he wants to bowl the remaining 4 deliveries.
Brilliant. Will get 2. And on the money, Bumrah.
So these longer legs of the West Indians. The second one was easily taken, but look at it. This is the delivery that he needs to bowl. Absolutely terrific. Right under the bat, big back left.
Yeah, he's the best in the business. Get out of this over here. Already a formidable total, folks. 190 in a knockout game with scoreboard pressure. Don't go anywhere. We've already seen a magic game last night in Sri Lanka. This is going to be special.
Oh, that's beautifully played. Yes, missing it by not much. Good enough for Powell to power it through the onside.
Missed the hole. Look at this. He's absolutely crucified through the onside. Meaty. Long on. Couldn't have moved Hardik Pandya more than 3 metres here. That's how quickly across the surface. In fact, he didn't even try. He knew that that was a boundary immediately.
Excellent. He's firing away the Yorkers. India not been at their best in the field today. Sloppy start. Opportunities there. Some catches that had to be taken.
Yeah, they all matter, don't they? 3 catches, 3 drops, that efficiency right down there. That's where they've been so good, this Indian team. Improvements over the years, and this space in particular has been brilliant. Defensive efforts in the field, they all matter. Shutting down these power hitters.
Just an alteration in the field. Square leg comes near the umpire. Fine leg drops back. So will there be a change in length? Oh, it's the bluff. Or is it the bluff from Bumrah? Still go for the Yorker. He does. And a good finish. But still 14 of the over. And this is going to be one hell of a chase. So it's competitive. I'd not say it's match winning, but it definitely is a competitive match, a competitive score in a knockout game. 195 for 4, the West Indies finish after 20.
Well, India will need to pull off their highest successful chase in a World Cup competition. 196 they will need to get, and almost 10 runs and over. They'll need to get off to a very good start in the power play itself, like they did a couple of days back against Zimbabwe.
And they're more than capable of doing it as well, Sonny. When you think about the different phases that are offered in T20s, the last phase of the T20 World Cup, they were in those sort of 8s runs and over, 8.5. Now They're in a 9.5 run phase, so no problems with the dismissal. Maybe the bat they thought potentially was raised off the ground, but all in all, runs on the board. It'll be a very, very good run chase to see.
And if you see Haydos, last 5 overs, they got 70. So it was a comeback in many ways after they lost wickets in the middle there. Good start, then wickets falling, and then a good recovery with Powell and Holder powering them to 195 for 4. You'd imagine they'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Last 30 balls, none for 70. And it was that expensive over of Arshdeep Singh's that's taken him out to an economy of just almost 11 runs and over. Hardik as well, expensive. Axar was good in terms of economy, and Varun there as well was expensive. The mystery spinner has been met this evening.
So that's how the West Indies innings progressed. Good start, but the real run started coming after the 15th over. You can see as many as 75 runs coming. So let's go down now to Samuel Badri.
Rovman Powell, give us an idea of the atmosphere out in the middle and that first inning score.
Yeah, it's electrifying. You know, it's a full house, a big game against India here in Calcutta. You know, but I think it's a good total. You know, but if we should be honest with ourselves, it's a very good wicket. So we would like 15 or 10, 15 more runs.
And take us into your own mind, 34 of 19, your thought processes as you constructed your innings.
I think it was just a case of getting through the spinners, not really getting through the spinners with dot balls, but actually attacking the spinners. You know, it's a small ground, so I trust my power to, if I get even a piece of it, I can clear the boundary. You know, but it's good to get some runs. It's good to put the team in a position where we actually can fight.
And I should tell you, congratulations. You've just broached 156s, the most by a West Indian in T20 International. A good record, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's a good record. You know, it goes to show the longevity and the hard work and the dedication that I've given to West Indies cricket over the last few years.
Congratulations on the first half. All the best in the second.
Thanks a lot, Bash.
Yes, he did play very well. 34 from 19, 156s for him. But this is what India need when they come out. They need to get 196 runs. Remember, this is a knockout match. They've got their full 20 overs to get it.
This is our year.
The final game of this Super 8 round. Good one. Nice.
Oh, that's a terrific strike. Bowden.
Another boundary here.
2 in the over for Jasprit Bumrah. Strikes first ball.
That's the biggest of the match so far.
It's great to be connected on a plane, but not all the time.
It is a big night here in Kolkata and Eden Gardens once again. Round zero. Center point for this battle between India and the West Indies. Shai and Surya Kumar Yadav going head to head a little bit earlier in the evening. India won the toss, elected to bowl first, and the West Indies have managed to put 195 for 4 on the board. 32 to Shai at less than a run a ball. Roston Chase opening the batting for the first time, got 40, but it was Powell and Holder towards the back end that powered the ball to all parts after Jasprit Bumrah got 2 wickets in an over. It was followed by Hardik Pandya's success. And that partnership of 76 for the 5th wicket was outstanding in the way they powered the ball, took on all the bowlers that came at them. 24th, and Ashdeep over towards the back end. And so it means, just a reminder if you needed it, that the winner of this game takes the final place in the semi-finals of this ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup 2026. 2 wickets in that over to Jasprit Bumrah. Arun a little expensive, and so too Hardik Pandya, as well as Ashdeep. So India need 196 from their 20 overs. The asking rate is nigh on 10 and over. Dinesh Karthik and Carlos Brathwaite here with me. They weren't, DK, at their very best in the field, to be fair.
For sure. They are the lowest in terms of percentage of drop catches in this World Cup, the top 8 teams. It tells you a lot. Today has, again, not been a great day for them. A couple of catches dropped by Abhishek. A run-out opportunity, but all that is done. They have the bat in hand. They need to make 196. Let's not forget, in Mumbai, many a moon ago, India scored 192 and West Indies chased it down. On that night, there was a lot of dew to work with for the Indian bowlers. The big question is not whether the pitch is going to change, but whether there is some dew on this outfield. They've put those anti-dew sprays, so that should have some sort of effect, but we need to wait and watch. It's a tall score. Dew would help for India. If not, West Indies definitely will back their bowling to try and trouble India here.
So Carlos Brathwaite, over to you, and you are part of history that will never be forgotten at this ground. Did the West Indies have a bad day in the field with the ball against South Africa? And will tonight be a night where we will see who they truly become because the bowling coming into the tournament needed improvement. We saw that in the initial stages, and then against South Africa, not great. What are you expecting tonight?
Yeah, I think South Africa, the powerhouses, they are how docile the track was. And without any real wicket-taking options, it was difficult once they got a head of steam for West Indies to pull it back. Also with a subpar total. However, with 20 runs or so extra tonight, with the added impetus of Akil Hussain and the extra option, I think they have a little bit more in the tank now. I think they have a few more options, and they'll be buoyed by the way that they've played. To give them 190 as a little bit more cushion. You're chasing, when you're defending 117 to get off to a rollicking start, you feel as though you need to get wickets every over. At least with 190, you can try to quell the flow of runs and get a couple short, small overs, and then go on the hunt again. So I think they'll love this little 20-run buffer as a difference between tonight and against South Africa.
Eyes on Abhishek Sharma, half-century in the previous game against Zimbabwe. 3 straight ducks to start the tournament. But will we have a narrative at the end of this contest? Form being temporary, but class being permanent. What do you make, Dinesh Karthik, of what you saw in that last game with Abhishek? Where is he right now in his batting?
A lot more confident than what he was probably before the Zimbabwe game. But that means a very little, considering the context of this game. Again, he's got to start from a knot and make sure he puts that pressure in the power play. Now they're going to start with Akil Hussain, so a left-arm spinner is who he's going to be facing first up. And we know how good he can be against left-arm spin, but it's the off-spinner that's troubled Abhishek Sharma so far. So it'll be interesting to see which way Shai Hope goes the second over. But for now, it's going to be Akil Hussain, who didn't play the last game, who will want to make a mark himself in this game. He knows he needs to have played last game, but he'll come here with a vengeance. The ball was dropping quite nicely when he bowled against Zimbabwe. Can he get that drop tonight? Can he get Abhishek to play a false shot? On the other hand, I can tell you there are 68,000 people here wanting those big hits coming their way.
Minus about 10 West Indians in the crowd. I wonder when the arm ball, how he uses his arm ball with the slip in position against Abhishek. The two deep fielders are a deep forward square and long on, so he can't give room outside the off stump. But the arm ball is a big part of his armory. Looks like a grip for the arm ball there as well.
Yeah, that field tells me it's going to be straight, potentially even starting outside leg and swinging back onto the stump. The straighter you are, the more behind square you want your fielder. So if it's going to be outside off stump, you have the mid wicket with him employing the square leg. I think you can expect to be straight and swinging away.
You can't give him that. You cannot give him that length nor that angle, and Abhishek is away.
He loves hitting over the offside, and he does love hitting boundaries. And he started off with one. That's a gift from Akil Hussain. Slower, just outside off. All the fielders in the inner ring on the offside, up in, making it a very easy shot. Now he'll be ready for the one that's probably in middle and leg. You can almost wait for him to launch it over mid-on or give himself a little bit of room.
Slip came out, just remember that. The slip came out after that boundary into the offside. It's a packed ring.
What I want to see Akil Hussain force Abhishek Sharma to give himself some room. That would tell you that there's been a couple balls grouped close enough to him.
So far, there's been only the arm ball going. Almost all 4 balls have been just from outside the leg stump. He's trying not to give the batter any room, but he's only bowled arm balls. He's not trusting his slower one yet.
One more to end the over. Ken was saying close out the over. Just 4 off it so far. Abhishek is hunting another boundary. Yeah, very good. Good from Akhil Hussain. 5 without loss. When we came into the ground, the crowd was packing in DK Carlos, and you could feel the tension palpable. You mentioned 2016 at the Wankhede. India got to 192, West Indies 193. Lendl Simmons was brilliant. Then Carlos, you were there. Matthew Ford. Miss hit it, didn't time it, but he'll get 4. Onto the practice wickets of Nevin. Dragged it down.
Yeah, that pace, meat and drinks for Abhishek. Didn't quite get it high enough. 76 miles an hour. It still felt as though he rushed him a little. Still hit fairly high on the sticker, but just enough to get it over the inner ring. This is jeopardy with the power play. That could have easily have spooned to long on if the field was back.
Deep extra cover in play. Wide. I think it might have been against the USA. Right of your screen there. That man, he's not on square, left, right of the screen. He's an extra cover. Something that USA executed. Then the other fielder is at the deep square leg. Slip is in.
Having watched Abhishek Sharma so closely, his biggest strength was to attack so early in the over, go after them in the power play. You can see what a few failures can do. You almost just take a back seat and you're hoping you get a couple of boundaries, probably a little bit of runs, and then you get into that 6th gear mode. But what he was so special, or rather what was so special about him, is how quickly he got off the blocks, which in the last 2 games you can understand why.
There should be a concussion check here now. It's a top edge into the helmet, and it is routine now for there to be a concussion check.
Yeah, a little bit more sizz. Not from Matthew Ford earlier. They over to the sticker this time. Hitting the top edge. I think Matthew Ford, it looks as though he wants to go length and try to tuck Abhishek Sharma up, and in between he's going wide with his away swing. I think his wicket delivery is trying to bring that ball back into Abhishek, but forcing him to either sit back for the pull or go over to the offside for the cut. I don't think that's the wicket delivery. I think the wicket delivery is that outswinger to the right hand he's been working on to bring Abhishek Sharma over the stumps and then bowl it straight at the stump. But he has to be absolutely perfect, because two boundaries in the over, and all of a sudden that aggressive delivery goes out of play and you're trying to get out of the over.
The ground staffs have been very good this World Cup. They've left just enough in the pitch. The pitches have not been homogeneous in nature, and some good batting ones and something in it for the bowlers. He's okay, Abhishek, and my mind runs on Sanju Samson. I spoke to him in an interview before the start of play, and he said quick starts, with his experience, quick starts for the team with all their batting depth is what he's about. He'll get his chance.
Bowling to Abhishek Sharma. The normal channel is where he is most aggressive. Absolutely take you down if you're anywhere there. That's what he did in the first over. Akhil Hussain got one there and he put it away quite nicely. But credit to Akhil, he's come back quite nicely in the over, didn't give away anything after that, just a single. You're always taking a 5-run over at the start to Abhishek Sharma. This is a contest here. Sanju Samson, again, someone who looks to be aggressive in the power play.
Very good. That's a length that Matthew Ford has bowled consistently in the power play, I would say, in the last 3 months.
Yeah, and what's good about his evolution as a bowler is that normally you think prodigious in-swing bowlers, they have to chuck the ball up there on a fullish length where if it doesn't swing, they get drive or driven. But Matthew Ford, what he's been so good at, he's able to pull the length back, and if it doesn't swing in the air, it's still prodigious movement off the seam. So he still has that lateral movement, whether air or off the pitch, and he's still a threat, but from more back of a length, which gives him a little bit more margin for error.
Two feelers out there for that in-swing. 2 overs gone, 12 without loss. West Indies had a tendency back in 2012, 2014, where the guys at the top, Chris Gale and those guys, would deliberately take about 2 or 3 overs to get into their flow before they started going hard. I think the game has changed though. Guys like Samson, Abhishek, when he's in form, will look to go hard from ball 1 or the first over. He'll see. And this time it's Sanju Samson, one of the strong areas for Sanju.
I love sitting on the back foot and going over mid-on or mid-wicket. Good player of spin.
He invited Akhil Hussain to bowl up a stumps by stepping away to leg early and won that mini battle.
So far, Sanju's played 3 balls. The first one he walked in, the second one he went back, this one he's backed away. So he's constantly getting the bowlers to guess as to what he is doing. Not a bad ball from Akhil Hussain, but he's not reacted well enough to what Sanju has done there. That's why bowling to Sanju in the power play can be a challenge. An extra fielder comes there.
That's all the way for 6. They will cheer, they will jump in the stands.
Sanju Samson on the move. This one just on middle and leg, playing the sweep quite nicely here. He's put Akhil Hussain under pressure. First couple of balls gone for a couple of boundaries. Exactly what India wanted. You have a look at how he lines up in the stands as the bowler is running in. He keeps making so many small little movements. His hands go up and down. Both his legs just almost go on the toes and come back on the heels. He has all these small fidgety things that he does. And then he launches into one. Something he's learned. And every time he does it, you can almost expect an attacking shot, actually.
In front of square this time, he sits back. And this is what he says he's about. A quick start for his team, regardless of whether he goes big or not.
Here called it the dancing feet from heel to toe and then rocking back. Full leather. from Blade. Delight for the Indian fans. This is the start that they wanted. Akil Hussain neutralized almost in the second over.
Now this is what the injection of Sanju Samson has done to this opening partnership. Abhishek has actually not gotten off to a flyer, but Sanju has, so it's eased the pressure on Abhishek. Now he can take a couple more balls, and then eventually, if Abhishek gets the 60-70, he knows the role that Sanju Samson has played in helping him through that power play. Now, at the end of 2, they were 12, but before this over, they've got 16 already. That's been the good part of what Sanju has done.
Oh, yes.
I got the feeling that when we spoke to him, you know him better than most of us, Sanju Samson, that is, he doesn't care whether he got to 25 and then got out. He says, I don't want to waste any balls. That's the most important thing. We've got batting depth, so I don't want to waste a single delivery. He'll be hoping to go on big, of course. Every batter wants to.
And I think he treats success and failure two imposters of the same thing. That's what I like about him. He doesn't get bogged down by what that does when you get out. He's willing to almost risk his wicket in trying to get the team off to a flyer, which I quite enjoy.
Chance, Hetmeyer's chasing it, Hetmeyer underneath it and takes it. Abhishek goes to deathly silence outside of the commentary box.
Beaming Hetmeyer. Back of a length, but the line is important. It's not giving him any width to free the arms, and as a result, going up. He's gone up, but not far. And Hetmeyer taking the catch, and Akil Hussain and the West Indies shushing what was a noisy crowd. Abhishek Sharma goes for 10, India 29 for 1.
Kishan, a man in form. He's come into the Indian team purely the strength of his domestic performances, and he has not stopped. Bolted to become the 5th best batter in the world right now. He's coming because Abhishek Sharma has played a shot of a man who lacks a bit of confidence.
Matthew Ford. I think the point that you were making before the over return is something we talked about earlier today, who I was saying it to, that even when he scored the 50 against Zimbabwe, some of the boundaries, there was just a tentativeness in even some of that stroke play compared to when we've seen him in his best form with ferocity.
It's but natural. Confidence is such an important part of anything you do in life, more so when you're batting, when 75,000 people are watching you. You need that. And you can see there was no conviction in that shot. It wasn't one where he went on the back and said, let me slam it into deep mid-wicket. No. He didn't transfer his weight back enough. He just stood in the crease and just pivoted and allowed his hands to do the rest. When you're playing a shot of the back foot, transfer of weight is so important. You can see what he's done here. He didn't commit to the shot. He should have been bang over deep mid-wicket. It was more a soft hit, one that he hoped he would connect because he'd spotted it early. He'd sit back and know that, oh my God, that was a short ball. I should have put it away. But the confidence, he didn't want that boundary as badly as he usually wants it.
Deep mid-wicket and deep square in place.
Sanju is a bit cautious, I should say, not tentative, cautious against Matthew Ford because he's bringing the back quite nicely in, and that's cramping Sanju, who likes to go on the offside if given any sort of width. But the ball is seaming a bit as well, and they have kept the field that is usually Sanju's nemesis, which is a deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg, and they're bowling it into him. And he's gotten out a couple of times when they've followed it into his body and he's just looked to pull the ball and gotten caught at deep square leg or deep mid-wicket. So he's aware of that now.
Very good from Robman Powell. He switched on. He switched on with the bat as well. Jamaican is always quick.
Yeah, Matthew Ford has done well. As you said, DK, just keeping the stump in play. And he'd want that when Sanju eventually makes that decision to either advance to him or back away and give him the stumps, and he follows him. Take the stumps out of play. You can see why he is second in the list for best economy rate in this World Cup. So one of the hardest times to bowl in power play.
Just short, but it's an easy shot on that length and line for Ishan Kishan, who's in good form.
Now that's the shot of a man who's feeling good about himself, good about his batting. As soon as the ball was released, he picked it. He knew it was on middle and leg probably, and he's gone through with the flick. Had no doubt what shot he wanted to play. Just wanted to pick it up over mid-wicket, and he's done that quite nicely.
He's got to go back on his length. Not too short to encourage the pull, but back on to his good length. Yeah, good. 37 for 1.
Lovely sights and scenes. My own motherland. Why not? Fish, ever been on a boat like that? In the Howrah River? Have you? A nice little houseboat in Kerala? That's quite the win percentage. Just Rohit Sharma, if I'm right, statistically slightly above him in terms of win percentage. Tells you how successful they've been in this 2-year cycle from the time he's taken over. Jason Holder into the attack.
Not to be at his best, Carlos, and Shamar Joseph showed us some good skills in the first phase of the tournament. Has kind of gone a little awry in the last couple of games. Is he post power play man?
Yeah, Shamar Joseph definitely upside the power play. They had a chat just before play about not waiting too late to go to those Yorkers. But against South Africa, once the game looked as though it was getting away. Shot. A little bit full in length. And the man at the top of his game, Ishan Kishan.
The beauty of the shot was the previous one bounced quite extravagantly when he played the cut shot, but the next ball he's just committed to the front foot. He's waiting for that fuller ball and he's just gone through with his hands quite nicely. Started off very nicely here, Ishan Kishan.
Striking at 186 this World Cup. And that's partly going to be his downfall. Hetmeyer is in all these trouble spots and hot spots and Holder strikes. Look at Ford. You'd think Ford got the wicket.
You could see the passion in maroon. Such an important catch to take. Hetmeyer had eyes on it all the way, scurrying around. It was becoming a very safe pair of hands. And an important man, this man, Jason Holder for the West Indies. Did it with bat, now doing it with ball. Ishan Kishan gone for 10, a cameo, 41 for 2.
Surya Kumar Yadav the Indian captain is at the crease. Get a chance to see that Kishan dismissal again. How low on the bat. Because of that striking power, he's aggressive from the word go. But now he's gone. Deep third and deep fine leg for Sky.
Kishan was looking good there, and the confidence probably got into the shot a bit too early. Did it hit the center of the bat? Let's have a look here, see where the ball hits the bat. Early into the shot probably, toe ending it, not getting any power whatsoever. Hetmyer takes a second catch, and India will be thinking, we have dropped a couple here, and West Indies have held on to everything that's come their way. Put yourself in Surya Kumar's shoes. Defending champions. Virtual quarter-final here. Coming 40 for 2, chasing 196. Can't be easy being him right now. A lot of pressure. He's batted nicely in this tournament. Today is the kind of day when you want your leader to stand up. A big moment for him in his captaincy career as well.
I want to quickly ask you and Carlos about that. Carlos, you were here when you won the game with those sixes in 2016. DK, you've been in positions many times. That pressure, how do you sort of get yourself out of thinking about that pressure?
I think for him, the first bit of pressure is trying to maximize the next 7 balls in power play. Once he gets out of the power play, how can you continue to show solid intent and not let the game drift away from you? So the result is immaterial at the moment. But how you navigate these next 7 deliveries, and then how you navigate the first 3 overs outside of the power play. Can you keep your intent? Because we know it's a difficult ground to defend. We know once he gets in, he can accelerate. It's the nerves right here, right now.
Insulate yourself is the word I was looking for. Insulation. 5 overs gone. 45 for 2.
For 2, 5 overs have been bowled, so game nicely poised at the moment. Still Ford. Just a period to rebuild for India. See the anxious faces in the crowd now. The whole ages in here, but they'll all feel this tension. It's a massive game, this.
Yes, it is a massive game. Sometimes the pressure can get to you. Maybe the pressure did get to the Indian fielders. Misfields and drop catches. On the other hand, the 2 opportunities that the West Indies have had, Shimron Hetmyer has taken them quite comfortably, quite easily, got rid of 2 dangerous batters. Tilak Verma, another left-handed dangerous batter. But much will depend, as Ravi said, on this partnership. Just 6 runs so far of 6 deliveries, but India needs something where they need to steady it without being too far away from the asking rate. At the moment, the asking rate is 10 runs and over. India scoring at 9 and over. That is keeping the required rate in sight.
He sliced that away. The ball will reach the fence. The 50 comes up for India. Still 4 balls left in power play.
Yeah, fortune favouring the brave. Didn't pick that slower delivery, back of the arm slower delivery. A little bit of width on offer, but gets enough to beat the infield. And once you do so in these conditions, it's difficult to hold the ball back in. It's a nice little knock from Sanju Samson, who spoke before the match of the clarity in his planning. He knows what his job is.
He's gone off to starts. He's got into the 20s before. Needs to convert this. Let's try and double it to start off.
Yeah, 10 years ago, Shimron Hetmyer was captain of the West Indies under-19 team when they won the under-19 World Cup. That same year, West Indies won 2 other World Cups, men and women. 10 years later, he's featuring in what is essentially a quarter-final of a men's World Cup. And they're hoping, they really are hoping that they can get past the defending champions and home team tonight. He really has wonderful pair of hands. He's taken quite a few catches in this tournament to date.
He had to come so far inside. It just tells you how badly mistimed that shot was. It wasn't as if the batter was caught on the boundary line. Looking to hit everything and get you into trouble. The ball might have hit the top of the bat, near the bat manufacturer's name.
He's got 6 catches in this competition, but I think he's thrived on this responsibility of being sent up the order as well. He's come of age in this World Cup. And there was no doubting his talent. He made an early impression when he first got into the side, then tapered off.
Yeah, that promotion seemed to have unlocked something in him. Started his career at the top of the order and then has been pigeonholed thereafter as a finisher.
So at the end of power play, India 53 for 2. And time for drinks. That's how things stand. 53 for 2 India after power play. Still needing 143 to get. So 2 wickets falling in power play. Abhishek Sharma started off with a boundary. Then Sanju Samson got into the act with a couple of sixes. Then the wickets.
Yes, sir. He had a very fine 6 as well. Not able to keep this one down again. Very good catch this by Shimron Hetmyer. And the slower delivery, slice for a boundary. That's the score at the end of the power play. West Indies were 45 for no loss. India are 8 runs ahead, but they have lost 2 wickets, so they need a big partnership.
Yeah, wicket for Akhil Hussain, albeit a little bit on the expensive side. One for Jason Holder. Ravman Powell did mention during the break that ideally they wanted 15-20 runs more but they'll have to make use of what they've got, and wickets will be the key throughout the middle phase of this innings.
The lights have come back again after the laser show during the 2.5-3 minutes of the drinks break. It's not easy on the batters, or anybody for that matter. Get your eyes used to the light again, the bright lights again. You have darkness around you. You have a laser thing going on. But this is the World Cup, and for 2.5 minutes, do you need this kind of entertainment? The IPL, it's fine in the middle of the IPL, not in the knockouts, but in the middle of the IPL, that is fine. But at the moment here in the World Cup, though, we need these laser shows in the middle of the drinks interval.
And from the player's point of view also, switch on, back on is never easy. It's a serious stuff. Jason Holder, first over, he conceded just 6. An opportunity now to spread the field out. Holder was the man who dismissed Ishan Kishan.
He is a tall man and a very tall release point. There, that extra bounce quite evident. Look at the lengths as well that he's bowling. He pulled things back quite considerably for that wicket delivery and off center in the bat, and so holds out in the deep. Raw emotion. Who can maintain their composure as we go deeper into this contest? West Indies would be maybe pleased with that first 6 overs.
Oh, that's beautifully struck. That's typical Samson for you. Waste away to the boundary.
Yes, not an easy shot to punch off the back foot. He takes a big stride back. His initial movement is back almost onto the stumps. And then he hits that. Oh, that is a beautiful shot. Not an easy shot. Back foot through mid-off, back foot through cover. Yes, but back foot through almost straight back past the bowler. That's a magnificent shot.
Yeah, I was interested to see how, if any, the changes would be in Sanju Samson once a couple wickets were down and post the power play. How does he make any adjustment to his game plan? The philosophy in the first 6 quite clear, but thereafter, what does his role evolve into, and how does he play the next few overs or so? So it'll be quite intriguing to see how he goes about his task.
Oh, he picks that up. And it's gone the distance. Well, that's a typical Surya Kumar Yadav blow. Just using the pace.
Yes, how often have we seen that shot from the Indian skipper? Just gets across towards the off stump, waits for the ball, and then brings that half scoop, half flick into the stands.
And I want to say that the West Indies need to get his wicket, but you look at this in their batting lineup and you could say that for each and every one of them. So dangerous are they. He manufactures those angles, doesn't he? Fielders in the deep, clears them easily.
The good thing about this game is the surface is a good one. will remain good. So if India get themselves in any sort of partnership that gets them closer to 100, they'll feel they'll have a great chance of overhauling the score. West Indies, meanwhile, know they have to chip away at the wickets, just build on the pressure. There's enough firepower. Samuel Badri said this Indian batting lineup, they bat deep. It's a good over from India's point of view. 14 runs coming off it after 7, 67 for 2.
Yeah, a couple of right-handers out in the middle. Won't be too long before we see the introduction of Gudakesh Murthy, or maybe the reintroduction of Akil Hussain, left-hand orthodox, who more likelihood would spin the ball away from the right-handers. And there's protection with fielders in the deep.
Yeah, when you look now at the 13 overs remaining, I think the game for me is the way India handle the West Indian spinners. If they can get after Modi and Hussain, then that'll go a long way in helping them. So a big moment in the game. Gudakesh Murthy into the attack. Starts with a short ball and gets the treatment. Easy pickings this for Sanju Samson. Half tracker.
Yes, again, between extra cover and mid-off, not an easy shot to play. He plays it up in the air because he knows that there is no deep extra cover.
Is the leading wicket taker for the West Indies in this edition, Gudakesh Murthy, and so they'll need him to continue that trend. Sky against spin, and you can see where his strike rates are the best. And so what are your plans, having seen this and having studied the footage and the data? What have they come up with as a team? Where are they looking to attack him, to contain him, and more importantly, to get him out? Yeah, the big games call for big heart, lots of courage, belief, self-belief. Do they have it?
Yes, in this middle overs, wickets become so crucial. Pick up a couple of wickets that can really shift the balance. We saw that when India bowled, they got some wickets in the middle overs, but then it was a good partnership that took West Indies to the 195 they got.
West Indies have been one of the best bowling teams in this tournament, bowling out the oppositions a number of times, and today that's what they need, wicket-taking options.
He's got that in the gap. He's always been a very good sweeper, Surya Kumar Yadav. And a boundary to end the over, 11 of it, 78 for 2.
He does play the shot really well from outside the off stump, takes a little backward across, and then making sure that if he's hit on the pads as well, it'll be outside the line of the off stump. Yes, the bowler not happy with the fielder's effort.
India just upping the ante in the last couple of overs. 25 runs have come.
And it seemed to be risk-free batting as well. They are scoring the boundaries without too much fuss, and that's the worry from a West Indian perspective. They've mitigated the risk, but they've still scored heavily.
Now Romario Shepherd into the attack. And he would remember this pitch well. Romario Shepherd. A 5-wicket haul early doors in the tournament, including a hat-trick on this very ground. The same pitch as well.
Didn't get the opportunity to bat. This will be hat-trick. There it is, knocking the stumps over as well. 5 wickets.
What have the bowlers done? That was, in fact, the best individual return for a bowler this tournament. 5 for 20 for Romario Shepherd. Another 5.
ये गैप में है शॉट, यहाँ पे बनते हैं रन. कलकत्ता में बहुत अच्छी पारी बुनते हुए और यूजी
A few 4-wicket hauls as well. West Indies desperate for another.
Oh, he climbs into that. That is brute force for you. Expensive from Sanju Samson.
It's a big gut.
The crowd on their feet. The 6 and now boundary. And you can see a sudden shift in gears from India in the last 3 overs or so.
Yeah, we've spoken about the pressure of this contest. The stakes are high, and all of the fielders, all of the players, no doubt, are feeling it. Gudakesh Moti is usually good in the outfield. That one goes past him. Crossing 40 for the first time after 12 innings, Sanju Samson.
That one skidding across the turf. I wonder if it's a little greasy. The outfield. Oh, that just goes past the outside edge. Just a hint of movement. They're just having a chat.
Yes, Shai Hope perhaps checking with the double point fielder whether there was a bit of a nick in it. Very good delivery.
It's quite loud, quite boisterous. No one heard anything, and they didn't want to take the risk either. Was it worth taking the risk?
So another good over this for the Indians. It's 13 off it. The 50 partnership comes up. It's 91 for 2.
Ultra Edge confirms that it was in fact a good decision not to challenge the umpire. Some daylight between bat and ball. No spike.
So India just ahead at this stage. They've strung a good partnership. That was what was needed. 50 added by these two. Good time. Last 3 overs, they just accelerated. There's been a shift in gears. Here's Modi. 49 Samson now.
Controlled and classy innings from Sanju Samson. Sky has given him the bulk of the strike as well, contributing when necessary. And the pressure now on the men in maroon to find a wicket.
Get it! Put down. Hit straight back. Got 2 hands. And a slice of luck here for the Indian captain.
Well, India dropped a couple, now the West Indies. Wasn't a difficult one. Drop catches. Disease is catching.
That should have been taken. Ample time. Now the crowd in anticipation. He's on 49. And now 50, reaches there with the boundary. It's been a classy innings in a big match. And his first 50 in the T20 World Cup. And the dugout knows the importance of that innings, as does the crowd.
What a way to get to a half century. After what, 14 innings or so? 12 innings. Very good shot once again. Moti bowling it short, bowling it wide because he's played the lofted shot to good effect.
Well, he's a classy player. He's come good on the big day. He'd like to be there to see India home. He's batted very calmly. Played some lovely shots. Six boundaries, 3 sixes, 6 dots. Beauty about this innings is he's hardly taken any risks. And it's scored quickly.
Yeah, his bat swing is so pure. Lot of bat speed as well when he plays those strokes. Times it more than anything else. Caresses the ball over the boundary and along the ground. Best yet from him.
So 7 off that over after 10. It's 98 for 2.
First over for Shamar Joseph. There's been some quality innings from Sanju Samson. There are many, or several, who have questioned his ability, but those who know of that ability have stuck with him. Quite a graceful and deceptively powerful batter, and has that X factor. Not as consistent as he would want to be, but he can be a match winner, and he's showing that quality on the biggest stage. Got him! Shamar Joseph into the attack, and Shilfin Rutherford takes a really good low catch.
You talk about X factor. Shamar Joseph is the first name to come to mind in this bowling lineup. There's a deafening silence after this. Shilfin Rutherford coming in, and the beauty of this catch is how he just slows down to be able to dive forward and catch it. Had he overrun it, he could have easily hit the palm or the heel of the hand on the way down and fluffed the chance. He didn't. Third wicket down the skipper. 99 for 3 India.
Tilak Verma, 44 in the last game in quick time of just 16 deliveries against Zimbabwe. What can Tilak produce tonight? Acceleration, 97, innovation, can be innovative. And he likes room. Off the mark straight away. Nice crunching shot, Matthew Hayden.
Yeah, great way to bring up the 100 as well, Ian Bishop. That was a key moment right there. The drop catch, I thought, was one of those pivotal moments that may well have cost the West Indies, but that catch there from Shamar Joseph was an absolute beauty. Here it is again. Great movement to the ball. Eye on, a little roll over the top of it, and the X factor, as you said, comes into play. So a little circuit breaker here, some relief for the West Indies.
What disturbed him there, but Sanju Samson took a huge backward step in the crease. Rutherford's catching all across 2020, 425 hasn't been spectacular. He's not always excelled, but he's caused some awe and amazement here. And it's improved of late. He's worked on it, Carlos.
Yeah, once upon a time it was hand on head when it goes in Rutherford's direction. Notice safe pair of hands. And they like to dissect the technique of the catch, because sometimes you just think people run as fast as they can and dive. But with a catch like that comes fairly flat. With a catch like that comes fairly flat, where you have to sprint into the drop zone. Sometimes it's not getting your feet and your head into the drop zone. It is getting into a position that you can dive into the drop zone and be able to catch the ball and then extend your hands so it doesn't bounce out.
Goodness gracious, the stumps are good fielders sometimes. No, there's a long on that would have gone down the ground pig.
Nice little roll. Got there, he stopped. A drag of the back foot to get his hands down. Once he got his hands underneath the ball and took the catch, Again, give himself a little bit of a tumble, less theatrical, less for the cameras and more technical. It was a good catch. It looks easy, and some will say it should be taken. It should be. There's a process behind it.
Fellow who took a good one, he missed his run up again. Who took a good one? Perhaps a slightly more difficult one than that a couple of nights ago. Glenn Phillips took an outstanding catch against England. They didn't go on to win the game, but he takes some of the most difficult catches, Glenn Phillips, and makes them look easy, and then he'll drop the straightforward ones occasionally.
Well, he's got an engine on him of note, and that pace to the ball, that's just so key in these situations.
.101 for 3. Good over, just 3 runs off it and a wicket, and they desperately needed that, the West Indies. But you look at that, Shivam Dube has been smacking the ball as well as Pandya to all parts, and we remember Akshar Patel and his knock in the final in Barbados in 2024. Chase to the attack, having opened the batting for the first time. What has he got instead?
He's the difficult one to read, Roston Chase. You think you bring it on for the left-hander, and then he goes against the right-hander out. This is a power pack, 6, 7, and 8 engine room, and these two at the crease. But Roston Chase is a man that's known for making things happen, almost from nowhere. This is going to be a key passage of play.
Yeah, well, he's an absolute beauty with the bat, wasn't he, this evening? The first time that he's ever done that, he manages to pull off a really well-made 40 and a good opening partnership as well, and good power play. A conservative power play, but a launching pad for the men in maroon. And that's what it's really all about at the moment for this Indian lineup. They have to conserve their wickets. If they start getting into that engine room too early through this phase, it's going to expose some real problems. Run rate required, 10.5. Start putting a couple of wickets on that, and that'll escalate.
Targeting the stumps, and this young man, Tilak Verma, has a very good record against the West Indies. Averages around 58 with a strike rate of 140 plus.
Feel that tension just starting to mount. Scoreboard pressure. See how quickly, I just mentioned it was 10.6, now it's 11, so every dot ball here is absolute gold dust. Totally different a tournament play like this where you've got scoreboard pressure as opposed to a bilateral series. .93 from 50 balls. Now, in ordinary circumstances, you'd think, right, 7 wickets in hand, game on. These conditions, it is neck and neck, folks.
I want us to look at this field as well that is set for Tilak Verma, this offside field. There's the man at long off, but there's a deep backward point for him. It's not an extra cover. Right of that fielding graphic, top right, a huge gap between that deep backward point and long off.
Oh yeah, stop it.
It's very good from Roston Chase. 104 for 3. It is such a critical game. It's been a great World Cup because it's come down to this in the Super 8s to find out who's the last team to get to the semi-finals. It is a fantastic tournament. We had the first round where the associates showed their wares. Super 8. Their guys like Sanju Samson are looking to step up. Dinesh Karthik has joined us, and he'll keep us waiting for something substantial. Keep your ears open. So Joseph just missing his run a couple of times. Wow, crunching. What a blow of some power. Always say Samson by name, Samson by nature.
Missing his leg, Shamar Joseph. Wants to be a little bit further back. That's in the slot, smited by Samson. He can hit that length, he throws it right for 3. Just a little touch shorter. Sanju Samson is going so deep in his crease. I think he wants to compensate, he's overcompensated on that occasion.
Now that you've waited, here is DK.
I just watched something fascinating here. Sanju Samson gets to his 50 after 12 innings. 13th inning he's got a 50, celebrates, and look what he does after that. Very old school, goes, marks his guard again, almost tells himself the job is not done, I need to start again. And what does he do the next couple of balls that he faces? First one, a block, he says, all right, I got time, and then finishes the over off. It tells me he's determined. Now that he's got to a 50, he's saying he doesn't want to give it away. He wants to take India home. That's a great way to tell yourself that the job is not done. I got something more to offer today, and I want to get it done.
Tilakama has joined the fun. He just bunted it down the ground.
Curious. Full face of the bat. Baker will be happy. He just held the pose. Beautiful balance and poise in shot. Not as bad a delivery as the first ball be over. Still needs to pull that length a bit back, but can't take anything away from the beauty of that shot.
He's jumped on it. He's showing that form from the last game, that intensity and boundary hitting ability.
Lovely striking the ball. 99 tournament boundaries here for India. And this is one of the best. Look at this. Wide, tries to take the pace out of the ball, the air out of the ball, if you like. And Tilak Varma says, thank you very much.
We had a blurb from Gudakesh Moti earlier. Now Shilfin Rutherford, after taking a good catch, lets one through.
Well, he was desperate to try and stop the 2, but in doing so, you can see the angle that he tried to cut, he slipped over. He wanted to get a good quick throw and release away, but his footwork just wasn't there. I also wonder whether there is a little bit of juice starting to kick in here as well.
You see it again, you see his foot, his right foot get onto the side of the shoe. You never stop yourself much there. There won't be any traction. The foot got onto the side of the shoe. Expensive over 17 off it. 1-2-1, 4-3.
Yeah, that was certainly the over that the Indian batting lineup were wanting here. 75 35 off 42 balls, and the only thing that can really stop them here is the Dinesh Karthik's point is to lose wickets. So Sanju Samson's digging in. Tilak Varma striking nicely at 150, causing pressure in the field in moments like that, which becomes significant in run chases.
One of the ways that, and we talk about those wickets, but the biggest question is how do you get those wickets in good conditions, good batting conditions? And we saw, for example, with South Africa, how they rotated bowlers early in their bowling effort, 1-over spells, very rarely back-to-back overs. Ruston Chase bowled a good one. This is the period, decisive 2 overs. Decisive 2 overs coming up. Everything he touches tonight turns to gold for Sanju Samson.
Boundary early in the over again. Chase gone Yorker. The presence of mind, you just let it hit the face of the bat and just angle it for 4 to a vacant point region. Sublime skill. It speaks to the awareness and presence of mind. Staying in the moment at the crease.
It becomes who can handle the pressure at this stage, Carlos. Mounting now on those in maroon. You've also got the crowd factor here. This is a beautiful traditional ground here at Eden Gardens, a very noble and crowd that just absolutely adore their cricket, and what they're seeing here now is something very special from Sanju Samson. He wants to take this deep.
You ask how do they get wickets, Bish, and I think it's building pressure. Shamar Joseph before 3, then Ross and Chase 3. When that's 17 run over, all that pressure is now dissipated. And they almost need to find a way to string some dots together again.
Well, there he is, Sanju, on the list. Best strike rates. 187 for Mach in Australia out of the tournament. Laka Zaman came in late in this tournament with Vahan put on a brilliant partnership. What a tournament he had as well for Pakistan. And one other interesting fact, along with what Dinesh Karthik was talking about, Sanju resetting, is that his contact points, his strike points versus pace, Sanju Samson, have actually got a lot shorter. Against Namibia is 1.83 metres, Zimbabwe 1.46 metres, and the West Indies 1.39. So on a bouncier surface, he actually has found his way to get the ball closer into him before he struck the ball. Sign of great confidence.
Long enough from Tilak Varma. Value for money here tonight with this contest. 136 for 3 after 14. And time for drinks.
Ball at the stumps if you're there. Till that Varma stepping away. Smacking it over long on. Giving himself the arms, the width, the room. That's why his power, skill scale is as it is. It's a lusty blow to finish. Brings India right back into the contest. 10 over required.
Well, earlier today, before the game started, we heard from Sanju Samson. Let's have a little reminder. Sanju, thank you very much for your time. A couple of games for you in this World Cup. You're getting the team off to some quick starts. How do you feel about form?
Form in the sense I've been actually feeling good about my batting. I think I've been spending enough time in the nets while I'm batting or not, or playing the game or not. I've been spending a lot of time in the nets, doing my basics right, just trying to watch the ball, and then actually I do understand the role which I am given in this team. So I think if you look deeply into the batting lineup, we bat very deep. So I have actually been a leader of an IPL franchise, so I understand what type of a batting is required out of me. So I just take a couple of balls and know that I just need to give a Indian team a great start, and once I've given them, then I actually have to just accelerate on 100%, because I know we have a really strong batting lineup coming ahead, and I don't like wasting much of balls. So that is what is required at this moment for this team, and I just try to do that.
And when you bring that philosophy into a must-win game like this, the spoils goes to the winner. How much confidence does that take, and how important is that in this game?
I think, sir, one of the biggest strengths of being an Indian cricketer is from last so many years we have been playing. So each and every game for an Indian player is do or die. So the pressure, actually, you learn a lot of cricket, you learn a lot of things on and around of the field, but you also learn how to cope up with the pressure. So what I have learned in my own way is to just play this game as yet another game, because every game is a do or die for me and also for the team. So we just have to keep it simple, have the confidence, and just do the basics right, and hoping to be on the better side.
That is fascinating. Finally, does all of that come through just experience? That you can't sort of circumvent that, I suppose.
Yeah, I think every individual is different. Every individual is unique in their own way. So we have 15 members. They all have their own way of succeeding and learning from their experience. So I just told you what I have learned and what I would like to implement today.
Thank you very much for your time. Very, very insightful as always.
Thank you, sir.
Sanju Samson speaking before the start of this all-important contest. $60 to get from the last 6 overs with 7 wickets in hand in the driving seat. A place in the semi-final awaits. Sanju said it. The pressure is always there for these Indian players. You live with it, you breathe, you eat, you sleep it, but you get on with the job.
Yeah, cricket is the #1 seed in this country in the acceleration overs. They will feel it, even though they are cruising at this stage. They're at 35,000 feet and the pilot has gone. We are just ready to sit in this zone for maybe another 3 or even 4 overs here without losing wickets. The heat will only come on if India start to lose wickets. So much about cricket is being just comfortable with the uncomfortable, and run chasers are specifically about that. Don't go anywhere though, Carlos, because there could be a little twist in this story as well.
Yeah, just wondering how much Romario Shepherd can bowl. He's only bowled 1 over. His speeds have been way down in that 1 over. And Jason Holder is one of your death bowlers, bowling his 3rd now, which I agree with, because you can't wait until the death of the game may never reach there. But how much can Romario Shepherd add? You don't want to bowl Austin Chase for 3 in a row. Shamar Joseph just his ball from the other end, and he only has 2 left. It's going to be interesting to see how Shea Hope's going to maneuver and rotate his bowlers. Surya Kumayadav got the consolidation stage after a flyer, Sandra Sampson kept motoring along. He really accelerated, a drop chance. And eventually a half century out to the sky. Had a nice catch from Shafin Rutherford, littered in between the boundaries. Then it was the Sandra Sampson show again. Tilak Varma not staying outside the party, he wanted to get into the dance as well.
He has hit that as powerfully as anything tonight.
This is absolutely crunched away. Marching on here, Team India, in front of this mammoth crowd, and they're being entertained by glorious shots like this.
Put themselves in pole position against the West Indies. Just got up to it, Akil. In fact, Shimron Hetmyer, he climbed. Akil Hussain next to him gives him the little tap, but out of nowhere, that wicket's come.
Absolutely necessary. Shimron Hetmyer again, but it's not with bat in hand, it's in the field. A man for the occasion, climbing. An imaginary ladder. Stepped a couple rungs up, almost to the height of Jason Holder. Benefactor of that wicket. And ends Tilak Varma's stay. 141 for 4 India.
Hardik Pandya. Have a job to do with Sanju Samson. Fantastic catch. 7 catches this World Cup for Shimron Hetmyer. His reaction after taking the catch was priceless. Off the mark, Hardik. Have a look at that catch.
Runs, catches, good fielding efforts. Hetmyer's all over it. This is a peach of a catch. Fingertips, great control. So important for the West Indies.
A moment after that where he was mouthing, you say it in West Indian, he said, that man hit the ball so hard. He just soldiers on. He's picking his moments to go through the gears, gearing up and gearing down. 1 4 6 for 4.
He's absolutely shelled this. He is having one heck of an evening. Look at this. The contact points again, deep in the crease, and he's pounded it through point. Wonderful shot.
So 5 overs to go. Match nicely poised. 50 runs needed from 30. Sanju Samson holding this Indian innings together. It's been a magnificent innings. 74 from 41. Still a job to be done. 50 to get. And Joseph back in. That's easy for Hardik. Nice little gift on middle and leg. The fine leg up. The 150 comes up.
Well weighted by Hardik Pandya. Have a look at where he meets the ball. Just under his eyes, on the pads. Hardik Pandya has walked into the crease in Calcutta. Ravi Shastri has walked into the calm box for the last 5 overs. It's going to be a firecracker here.
Yes, and Samuel listening. He's quietly listening here because we know in these pressure games what wickets can do. You've got 2 calm heads out there, Pandya and Samson.
Their presence of mind to pick up a couple. There was a collision between the bowler and Hardik. Didn't result in anything untoward, purely accidental. The game has been played in wonderful spurts and it continues that way. But can he find another wicket? We keep saying that every time we talk. It's about West Indies getting wickets and finding a way back in.
That won't help. 6 degrees release the pressure. Good man to have coming in at this moment of time, Hardik Pandya. But just watching Sanju Samson today, there's never been anyone who's doubted his talent. But it's this kind of composure, this kind of maturity that's needed. Shot selection, just his body language, even when wickets were falling around him, first class. And he's scored 74 from 41 and feels he's hardly taken a risk. That's the kind of shot-making ability he has. Some sublime shots from him.
Looked the part. He's been calm, he's been composed. It almost feels like subconsciously he knows, he believes that he is the man to get this done tonight. Like you said, it just feels like he's not taken any risk whatsoever. He's played very maturely, something that everyone has wanted every time they watch Sanju bat. Just the calmness with which at the moment they're taking singles. Mind you, they need close to 10 runs and over, but it just feels like they know they're going to get it done. That's the body language they have. Comfortably the highest boundary scorer in terms of fours tonight. Fast outfield. The pitch feels like it's just getting better to bat on. Probably a little bit of moisture on the top surface of the pitch, the dew on the outfield, all that adds to their confidence even more. I thought Tilak played a body language there.
तो पहली 3 गेंदों में 8 ढूंढ लिए हैं।
हाँ, बहुत बढ़िया कंट्रोल किया है अभी तक भारत ने इस चीज को, फिर वो फिनिश करना वो बड़ा ओपन कर।
What a inning he's playing under pressure. Definitely.
25 में 40 आस्किंग रेट
On the verge of getting India past the finishing line. Past the finishing line. Clears mid on and finishes it off. Sanju Special Samson, 97 not out, looks up at the heavens. And
the semi-final of a T20 World Cup, third in a row, India's 8th consecutive win in Eden Gardens in a T20 International. So many records tumbling, but the biggest one is Sanju Samson, and what a story it has been. Wasn't part of the starting 11 in this World Cup. Got his opportunity in the Super 8 stages after losing to South Africa. India needed a change, and he's made it happen.
yeah, he's not showing his emotions, but deep inside he's a very, very happy man. And the team will be happy for him. They know how good he is and what he's capable of. Back in the team, he's not let the selectors down, he's not let the support staff down, and he's not let the captain and his fans down. Place in the semi-finals for India. With a Samson Special, 97 from just 50. And all round a good batting effort. Good partnerships through the middle. Tilak Verma played his part as well. And big relief for India to get into that final four, where they'll take on England in Mumbai.
Yeah, an iconic knock, no doubt. It will go down as one of those magic moments in tournaments to come. It will be spoken of all around the country. It will reverberate for such a long time. A wonderful batting display from Sanju Samson. It's not how you start, but it's how you end. And he's ended this game on an exclamation point, unbeaten on 97 from just 50 deliveries. And he's answered all of his critics in fine style. Spare thought for the West Indies as well. It's the first time that they've lost here at Eden Gardens. They were dismantled by that man, Sanju Samson. India winning by 5 wickets and securing another semi-final berth. What a blockbuster that one promises to be as well. Memorable night here again on this hallowed ground.
Yes, and it's a special ground. It came out in numbers to see the Indian team, to support the Indian team, and now see the Indian team making it to the semi-finals. And they were very calm, they were very composed in the chase, thanks to Sanju Samson. Now they've got a few days off before they take on England in Mumbai on the 5th of March. Always a big relief when you get through to that semi-final, especially when you have to play a knockout game to get there. Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya is waving to the crowd. The support was immense today, as it always is in Kerala. The dressing room, the players will feel for this man. He'll sleep with that bat tonight. And the Sanju Samson fans, they'll be celebrating. And I tell you what, he's got a few around the globe. His captain too will be very happy. He's backed him and back in the side. He's not let him down on the big day. But overall, DK, what do you make of this Indian performance? Gautam Gambhir, his support staff, they'll be relieved as well.
Oh, absolutely, and they should be. They were pushed after that loss against South Africa. But after that, they made that change. Sanju Samson and Akshar Patel coming in. Sanju Samson showing why he is rated so highly in T20 cricket. It was almost brilliant to watch him just take a deep breath and say, no, I need to be there right at the end, and that's what he's done, because he's got an opportunity and he wanted to get it done. And he knows, his fans know how much this means to him, how long they waited, because this man is capable of so many more knocks like this. Just made it look so easy, risk-free shots, but when it mattered most, got it past the boundary quite easily. He's a darling from where he comes, and tonight he'll be the toast of the nation, and why not?
Yeah, clinical precision. You can describe that innings. The way he placed the ball, timed it, there was power there was placement, there was deft touch and skill. And even though he lost wickets around him, 97 of just 50, made it look easy. Good contributions lower down the order. Tilak Verma, 27 from 15. Hardik played his part as well. 17 from 14, and Dubai, who came out, struck the couple of boundaries in quick time to make sure India got past the finishing line.
Yeah, from a West Indian standpoint, not enough wickets there and too many boundary balls. 25 fours struck. It was always going to be difficult to defend in these conditions, along with the 6 sixes, and so they fall short. Weren't able to defend what was the highest score posted against India in a T20 World Cup match. A historic chase. Disappointment all around. They had additional resources from a bowling standpoint, but still not able to restrict the opposition.
So that's how things panned out. 195 for 4, played 199 for 5. India winning by 5 wickets with 4 balls to spare. Sanju Samson catching everyone's eye with a spectacular 97 from 50. That's the Group 1 final table for you. South Africa on top with 6. India had to win this to move to 4 points on the table and get a place in the semi-finals. And there you go, Group 2 table. It's England who topped the group, 6 points. New Zealand getting there on a better run rate, going past Pakistan, and that semi-final will be played on the 4th of March here at the Eden Gardens. Final will be played on the 8th of March. And that will be live from Ahmedabad, the Narendra Modi Stadium.